What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live here on a Friday. Today is Friday. We got picks against the spread. We're going to talk about what Shaden Sharpe can do to become an all-star. Also, I'm going to fix my camera, the setup of this stream. Let's just say it didn't go smoothly. But we're here in time to pick 12 NBA games, NBA Cup games today. And we're also going to talk about how Shaedon Sharpe can ascend to all-star status after his career-high 33 points. Eric gets to join us for picks against the spread for once. Eric, how's it going?
Oh, great. How are you today, Tori?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Enjoying my Friday and excited to pick some games, man. There was only one game yesterday, so we moved the stream to today because picks against the spread with one game is kind of pointless. You know, there's no such thing as double downs because you don't get to choose. It's whatever you picked. So instead, 12 NBA Cup games today. The Blazers are not playing today. Blazers are not playing tomorrow. They play again on Sunday. That'll be our next stream. Let's just jump into the standings. Let's not waste any more time. Eric, you can continue to lead this thing. 32-19, 4 games ahead of me in second place. Everybody else battling for third. You got Chat, Zach, Trevin tied for third, and you got Crushables, Javon, Steven a half game behind him, so super bunched up there. Aeromancer in 9th, 503 in 10th. Connor, Brendan, and then Jackson has had a rough go of it. He's in last, 5 games behind. Second to last, he was a 0-6 on Monday. And it was a pretty bad day for us in general. We were 31-47 on Monday. You did have a 5-1 day from Trevin, so shout out to him. Steven and Brendan, the only other people with winning records. Even Eric had a below 500 record.
Well, yeah, 2 of the 5 games were a half a point away from going the other way, so yeah. Very, very close. I hate those games because I feel like no matter which side you picked, you didn't necessarily make a bad pick. It just got unlucky.
Yeah, some bad beats there. Hopefully no bad beats today. Let's jump into game number 1. We got 3 4:10 p.m. tip-off time, so if you want to double down on these games, let us know when you pick the game if you're picking in chat. But the first game, we got the Orlando Magic hosting the 2-9 76ers. The Magic are 3-point home favorites.
All right, thanks to Brendan for getting these injury reports into us. Tyrese Maxey is out for the 76ers. Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr. out for the Magic.
Chat, there is your poll. The Blazers got rated as the best best NBA Cup court, which I agree with. That was pretty cool to see. The Blazers NBA Cup court looks sick.
I mean, we haven't seen all of them yet, right?
Well, we've seen the design. Like, they've released the design.
Yeah, but like it's a little different when you watch it in playing in person. But yeah, I mean, can't say that one has stuck out more so than the Blazers. So that's cool.
Yep. We're number 1 in something. That's what matters. All right. I am going to go with the 76ers. I think they get a win today. They desperately need a win. We got Crushables going with the Magic. And we got, let's see here, 503s going with the Magic. And Steven Vaughn is going with the Pistons. Or no, that's not this game.
Pistons?
76ers. People always get them to me in different orders, and I have to look at these texts like completely different orders and find the team. But we got 2 versus 2 right now. What are the other picks, Eric?
Jackson's going with the Magic.
Alrighty.
Trevin, 76ers. Eric, 76ers.
Trevin, 76ers. Eric, 76ers.
Javon, 76ers.
Alrighty.
Aeromancer is the Magic.
We don't have Connor or Zach. Or
Connor is 76ers.
Yep.
Brendan is 76ers.
Alright. Do we have our guy Zach in here?
Let's see if he...
If not, we got to move on. Chat goes 76ers, 62% of the vote, which makes it a 4v8 currently in favor of the 76ers. Game number 2, you have the Indiana Pacers hosting the Miami Heat. Indiana is a 4.5-point home favorite.
Calling Zach, hold on.
I'll read off injuries then for this game.
I got it. Heat, Jimmy Butler is out. For the Pacers, out are Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Isaiah Jackson, and James Wiseman.
Alrighty. I don't know. I don't know when I muted myself. We're a little out of sorts here. But I'm almost ready to go. Alright, I am ready to go for picks.
All right. By the way, Aeromancer wanted to let it be known he's doubly down on the Pistons.
Alrighty.
Just because that game's about to start.
Yep. We gotta get through these.
For Trevin's Miami,
Okay, Trevin's Miami, Stevens Pacers.
Jackson's Pacers,
Jackson's Pacers.
we got Javon Pacers, Connor Heat,
I'm also going Pacers, Connor going Heat. We got 503 going Pacers.
Aeromancer Pacers,
Okay. Eric, what are you going with?
I'll go Pacers.
Alright. Chat is going Pacers 83% of the vote. That's a big percentage. And then we got Brendan going with the Pacers as well. So a 9v3 right now in favor of the Pacers. Game number 3. Don't look at any scores. I'm definitely not. You got Raptors hosting the Pistons. The Pistons are 2-point road favorites, which is like maybe the first time I ever said the Pistons are road favorites.
For the Pistons, Asir Thompson, Bobby Klintman, Simone Fontecchio, and Tim Hardaway Jr. are all out. For the Raptors, out are Jacoby Walter, Bruce Brown, Emmanuel Quickley, Kelly Olynyk, and Scarty Barnes. He's not going to play with that mask on. He's worked out pregame, but still out. All right, let me know when you're ready, Tori. Muted.
Oh, dude, I keep muting myself on accident. We got Raptors for myself in 503. We got Pistons. Wait, did I put two Raptors logos in? Whoops, this needs to be a Pistons logo. All right, we got Pistons for Crushables, and we got Pistons for Stephen Vaughn.
Pistons for both Jackson and Trevin as well.
All right. We got Pistons for Brendan, Pistons for Arrow.
You went Pistons? I thought you said Raptors.
I went Raptors, yeah. There, fixed it. Pistons for Connor.
I'm going Raptors.
All right. Javon is Raptors as well. Chat is Pistons, 62% of the vote. All right, an 8v4 in favor of the Raptors. Game number 4, you have the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Washington Wizards. The Hawks are 9-point home favorites.
All right, our opponent on Sunday, the Atlanta Hawks, are without Bogdan Bogdanovic, Kobe Buffkin, Seth Lundy, Cody Zeller, and Vit Krejci. The Wizards are without Sadiq Bey and Malcolm Brogdon. I'm going to take my Wizards.
Why is that a Cavs logo? Alright, I'm also going Wizards with you. We got Steven going Wizards.
Both Connor, Aeromancer, and Brendan, all Wizards. And Javon.
Alrighty.
And then...
And Crushables.
And Jackson.
.503 is going... Wizards as well. So need Trevin.
Trevin is Hawks.
Trevin might get himself an island. Nope, chat goes Hawks because chat loves themselves a favorite. Chat, the Hawks got to win by more than 9 points in order for that to be the correct pick. In case you didn't realize that we're betting spread lines already. So chat, Trevin going against the grain. Everybody else so far going Wizards. Except for Zach, he's going with nobody. Next game, we got the New York Knicks hosting the Brooklyn Nets. The battle in New York. The Knicks are 9.5-point home favorites.
All right. In this one, we have for the Nets, Bojan Bogdanovic out. Shaedon Sharpe, Trendon Watford, Nicholas Claxton also out. For the Knicks, we got Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa, Kevin McCullough, Miles McBride, and Karl Anthony Towns all out. Big men stay at home in this game, I guess. Sharp, Claxton, Robinson, and Towns all out.
All right. 503 Knicks, Crushables, Nets, Stephen Vaughn, Knicks.
God, these high point spreads. Javon, Brendan, Aeromancer, Connor all going together again with the Nets.
Okay, it's easier when you say the team first and then say the name. So Javon, Brendan, Connor, Arrow?
Yep.
Okay. Because I can open their folders if it's the away team. All right.
And then Nets for Trevin, Nets for Jackson.
What are you going with?
I'm going to go with, man. I have a funny feeling about the Knicks. I'm gonna take the Knicks.
All right, chat's also going to take the Knicks.
50-50. 6 votes. Come on, people. Come on.
It was Knicks, so last vote doesn't count. Anyway, all right. You got an 8v4 there. Next game, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Chicago Bulls. The Cavs are 10-point home favorites. 13-0.
All right. In this one, we have Lonzo Ball out for the Bulls. For the Cavs, they're without Evan Mobley, Sam Merrill, Max Strus, and Amani Bates. I'm going to just take the points and go with the Bulls.
So am I. You got 503 going Bulls.
Bulls for the Javon, Aeromancer, Brendan, and Connor, the four amigos, as Connor calls them, all picking together.
Why are you guys picking together so much? What is this?
I mean, it's fine. At least we know they're either doing bits or they're... Bulls also for Jackson and Trevin.
Whoa.
Everyone voting against.
Chat 50-50. Next vote decides it.
Chat Island?
That would be very rare.
Come on,
31
vote
people on
in
the
chat.
stream. We need one vote. There we go. We got the Chat Island. Chat is going Cavs. It's kind of crazy. All the votes against the Cavs being 13-0, but you know the Bulls played them close earlier this week, I believe. Or maybe I'm completely making that up. I'm not sure. Game number 7, you got the San Antonio Spurs hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are 3-point road favorites.
All right, in this one, we have out for the Lakers, Christian Wood, Jared Vanderbilt, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jackson Hayes, and Rui Hachimura. For the Spurs, they're without Trey Jones and Jeremy Sohan.
I'm going with my San Antonio Spurs. You got 503 going with the Lakers. You got...
We have the foursome all voting together again, Tori, for the Spurs.
It's crazy, man. Crushable.
They put it in chat in a different order, though, so... we got Lakers for both Jackson and Trevin.
All right, Lakers for Jackson and Trevin. What are you going with, Eric?
I'm going to Spurs.
All right, Eric's going Spurs. Steven went with the Crushables. Didn't pick this game. It's funny because I always tell people there's 12 games, and then I'll like pick 11 picks. But we got Lakers. He just got it in, so shout out to him. Good on him. Steven ended up going with the Spurs. So you got a 8v4 in favor of the Spurs. Yeah, that's where Steven at. There's Steven. All right. Oh, and then chat. Oh, I didn't count chat pick. No, it's a 7v5 in favor of the Spurs because chat went Lakers. Me and chat are disagreeing on like every pick right now, so it's gonna be interesting. Game number 8, you got the OKC Thunder 10-2 hosting the 9-3 Phoenix Suns. The Thunder are 8-point home favorites.
All right, so the Suns are without Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, and Colin Gillespie. The Thunder are without Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, the center Jalen Williams, and Nikola Topic. The good Jalen Williams center lives on.
503 went Suns. You got Thunder for Crushables. And you got Thunder for Stephen Vaughn.
All right, they're mixing it up a little bit.
Nice.
Aeromancer Suns.
Okay.
Suns for Brendan.
All right.
Thunder for Javon and Connor.
Javon and Connor.
2v2 with that foursome, yeah.
The four amigos. All right. Jackson, Eric, Trevin.
Jackson is... Suns and Trevin's Suns.
And Eric.
Eric is Thunder.
All right, and then chat is Thunder, 61% of the vote. Chat is so heavy on the favorites. Chat, if you don't know what a spread line is, let me know. All right, we got 7 for OKC, 5 for Phoenix. Game number 9 of 12. We got the Houston Rockets hosting the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Houston Rockets are 4.5-point home favorites.
All right, out for the Clippers are Kawhi Leonard, PJ Tucker, and Mo Bamba. Steven Adams is listed questionable for the Rockets.
All right, chat, there is your poll.
I'm going Rockets.
I'm going Rockets. You're not going Rockets. I'm going Rockets.
Both going Rockets. Trevin is Rockets. Jackson is Cloppers.
The good old Cloppers, man.
We got Rockets for Brendan and Connor.
Cool.
Cloppers for Javon and Aeromancer.
All right, you got 503 going Cloppers. You got Cloppers for Crushables. And you got Rockets for Stephen Vaughn. And chat is going with the Cloppers, 56% of the vote. It just moved back to 50-50, but that vote, after further review, was after the buzzer. So right now, it is a 6v6. It's a split vote. And who knows, we'll get Zach's picks for these later games and then have to figure out what to do with the earlier games. Maybe we just have him pick live spreads if he does it quick enough. But
also, if we're not doing an extra double down, it doesn't matter. He just has less games, right?
It just gets messy with if it's that many games, so the double downs is not that often. All right, game number 10, you got the Pelicans hosting the Nuggets, and the Nuggets are 2.5-point road favorites.
All right. The Nuggets are without Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, and De'Ron Holmes. The Pelicans are without CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, Jordan Hawkins, and Zion Williamson.
So what the hell is their starting lineup?
Trey Murphy is back. They have Javonte Green. I don't
The game is gross, man. Alright, you got Nuggets for 503.
I'm going to take this game is gross. I'm going to take the Pelicans. I'm with Javon. Pelicans? Question mark.
Crushables is also with you guys. And so is Stephen Vaughn. I'm just going to take the Nuggets. Nuggets for Zach. Zach's here. Let's go.
Finally.
Let's go.
Assuming you haven't looked, Zach, we need your picks in Discord for the other games before this.
All right. We need Jackson, Arrow, Trevin, Connor, Brendan.
I called you like
Brendan
4 times.
All right. We got. All right. We need Jackson, Arrow, Trevin, Connor.
All right. Jackson's is. Don't see this game. Oh, Denver. He must not have.
Welcome to my world there. Yeah.
He didn't know. He's doubling down on Denver too. He must not have seen that Jokic is out.
I don't think it's a bad double down.
Pelicans for Trevin.
All right, and then Connor and Arrow. Do they want to make their picks?
Connor did, I think. Nuggets.
Chat is sitting at 50-50, so
No.
next vote.
Nuggets for Connor and Arrowmancer.
All right, Connor, Arrow. Chat can't make up their mind, which makes sense given how gross this game is. They went Nuggets, 54% of the vote. And then game number 11 is still not the final game. We got Golden State hosting Memphis. This should be a decent game. Golden State is 7.5-point home favorites.
All right. The Memphis Grizzlies are without Cam Spencer, Gigi Jackson, John Morant. Questionable are Vince Williams, Desmond Bane, Brandon Clark. The Golden State Warriors are without DeAnthony Melton. I'm going to take the Grizzlies.
I'm taking the Golden State Warriors. Warriors for Zach.
Grizzlies for Jackson. Warriors for Trevon.
All right, Steven, Grizzlies. Crushables, Grizzlies. Warriors for 503.
Glizzies for Arrowmancer.
Of course.
Warriors for Zach, Javon, and Brendan. And we're waiting on Connor's pick.
Connor, back to being Connor now that Zach's here, and he can be last. Connor, put away the spreadsheets and just pick. There you go. Warriors. When Connor takes a while, he's cross-referencing all his spreadsheets. All right, you got an 8v5 in favor of the Grizzlies, and then final game you have these Warriors, and then final game you got the Kings hosting the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are only 1.5-point road favorites.
All right, Kings are without DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, and Devin Carter. The Wolves have everyone healthy.
I must say, I'm feeling pretty good about my picks today.
Nice. That's good for you.
Yeah, we'll see if it's correct or not.
Oh, man. I really think the Timberwolves are going to have a good game finally. But I also would be going against my other theory, so I'm going to take the Kings.
All right, Steven's also taking the Kings. We got Wolves for Zach, Connor, Brendan.
Wolves for Trevin and Jackson.
Javon went Timberwolves. And then we need Arrows pick.
Arrows Kings.
And then chat is Timberwolves 55% of the vote.
And I have all of Zach's picks.
For the first three?
He gave me picks for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games.
All right, so starting with Atlanta, I assume. Atlanta, Washington.
Yeah, he's got the Hawks.
All right, and we'll just go on down.
That wasn't the first game, was it? It was the Magic.
That was the fourth game. Yeah, the first three games. We can just have him pick the live spread at halftime.
No, he hasn't left. I trust him.
Oh, what was the first game?
Magic.
All right. We're gonna recap the picks and we're gonna put in Zach's. All right.
I think he was okay.
We can put him in after the fact. That's fine. That's gonna take too long because there's too many games. All right. Double downs. I'm gonna double down on the Houston Rockets. So is Steven.
We got the Lakers for Trevin.
Fix your.
Yeah.
All right. Trevin, you said was Lakers. All right.
Jackson was Nuggies.
Don't say that team name wrong. 503 is Nuggets. Crushables is Pistons. We got Spurs for Connor, Nets for Javon.
Rockets are mine.
Man, you just want to agree with me all day.
We had several that weren't. So.
Okay, who was Spurs? Connor was Spurs.
Arrow did say Pistons earlier, too. Or he says Bistons.
Okay, Connor Spurs, Arrow was Pistons. And you were who?
Rockets.
Oh yeah, we agreed.
Warriors for Zach. And Chat's double down is the Pacers.
Alright, just need Brendan's.
Brendan is Wolves. Oh, wait, that was the last game. Never mind. Warriors for Brendan.
Alright, so as far as double downs go, we got Zach and Brendan on the Warriors. We got 503 and Jackson on the Nuggets. And we got myself, Eric, and Steven on the Rockets. Connor Spurs, Javon Nets, Trevin Lakers, Chat is Pacers. Good luck to everybody. Alrighty. Topic of conversation for today's episode of Blazers Uprise Live is: how can Shaden Sharp become an all-star? Let me turn on my lighting because the natural light is leaving me because, you know, it's November and it gets dark at like 4:30 now.
Turn my lights down.
Sorry, hold on. I like to use the switch to this. Okay, there we go. Let there be light. How can Shaden Sharp become an all-star? So Shaden Sharp, of course, coming off his phenomenal 33-point effort against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's been back for 5 games. He's started 3 of them. His numbers on the season: 15 points per game, 3 boards, 1.4 assists in 26 minutes a game, shooting 46% from the field, but that includes a whopping 62% from 2, which is far better than 46% last year, but 25% from 3. He came back, his shot was a little bit rusty. You know, it's far too small of a sample size to read too much into these numbers. Per 36, if you're interested, 21 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists. Obviously, super athletic, but how can he become a star, right? And in the version of Shaden Sharp that is a star, in my opinion, is somebody that's able to consistently break down defenses, consistently get a step on a defender, and then use his athleticism to finish at the rim, and then hopefully become a more consistent jump shooter. I think the 2 keys, I'll make 3 main keys, Eric, and I want to know your thoughts on these. I think there's 3 keys for Shaden Sharp becoming a star. 1 is tightening up his handle and becoming shiftier, being able to shift his defender and, you know, create space and get downhill off of that. The second is his jumper needs to be more consistent from mid-range and 3. He shot 33% from 3 last year. Still too early to see what he is from 3 right now, but he's 25% first 5 games, so hopefully that gets better. Even on his fantastic night against the Timberwolves, he was 3 for 10 from 3. So, he needs to be at least a league average 3-point shooter. And then beyond that, just playmaking feel needs to improve. Improved a ton the first couple of years, but I think the optimistic version of him is somebody that can maybe get like 5 assists per game, can be that playmaking shooting guard that can give you 25 points and 5 assists or something like that. Is that the 3 keys that you would choose, or is there something that you think is more important? Do you think one of those things isn't as important as the others? What are your thoughts, Eric? How can Shaedon Sharpe become a star?
I completely agree that those are 3 very important things, but for me the most important thing is a mindset. I think he has to have the mindset that he's a star, play like he's a star, and that includes being super aggressive. Obviously, that comes with doing the things that those 3 things you just mentioned, so they all kind of tie in. But I think what we've seen so far of Shaedon Sharpe, in my opinion, when he plays with good players, especially when he plays with players that also, dominate the ball a little bit, he tends to become invisible for minutes in the game. And we've seen it now at the beginning of the games he started. They've had to call a timeout and then run a play for him to I forget which one of the Minnesota games it was, but one of them I was like, is he even playing in this game? I forgot he was even in the game and starting, because you didn't hear him. He didn't touch the ball. He didn't make any plays on defense, nothing, for 3 or 4 minutes before they called a timeout. So for me, if you're going to be a star, you simply have to make your presence felt on the floor. And I feel like that's just an aggression issue. So he just has to, demand the ball. And if he becomes that playmaker, like you said, you can still run plays with him doing that. It's not like you're running ISOs for him or anything. But I think we need him to be, it's so cliche to say Mamba mentality or whatever, but not to that extent. But we need him to play like he's a star, not just kind of go through the motions and then pick and choose when he's gonna take over and stuff. Yep.
Mindset definitely important. I'm focusing more on the skill things just because, last year he was not efficient. 52.6 true shooting percentage.
Yeah.
52.4 true shooting percentage, right? And it's normally if you ratchet up the aggression, you become even more inefficient. So, but that's just where he didn't shoot great from 3 and didn't finish well at the rim. So obviously improving his jumper, improving his finishing ability at the rim will allow him to be more confident, more aggressive, simply out of making more shots, getting a rhythm, right? It's just he should not have finished as poorly as he did last year at the rim with how athletic he is. Some of that has to do with spacing. You've seen Scoot Henderson's numbers next to DeAndre Ayton be much worse finishing at the rim than with any other center. So that's where, hopefully the Blazers move on from Ayton. At this point, I think it'd be addition by subtraction, both because of what he is as a player and also because of his freaking contract. But yeah, there's I go back and forth, right? Because eye test, you see the star qualities, the athleticism, the shiftiness, the pace, right? He has these outlier traits that gives him so much upside. The more pessimistic version is there's plenty of score first guards that have gotten 33 points in a game, right?
Yeah.
So it's him consistently asserting himself. It's him consistently producing like that. And obviously it's still very, very early on in his career. So you hope that at some point he develops into a guy that can have that 33-point game consistently and take over games like he did in that game consistently. Mm-hmm. There's just such a big chasm between doing it, here and there, and then being invisible some games and doing it consistently. And I do think that's one of the most important things is what you touched upon, him actually learning how to assert himself too. Because he just there's so many moments where you forget he's on the floor, and that should never be the case with somebody of his upside and his athletic gifts. So I do think the Blazers coaching staff could do more to scheme him up and get him going and get him some good looks and utilize his athleticism off the ball. I don't think they do that enough. But he's a solid scorer right now, and there's so many things that could improve, but you kind of expect them to improve given his tools, and that's why he's obviously such a tantalizing prospect.
Yeah, I really want them to utilize those Devin Booker curl screens around the free throw line. I think he would have a field day just like coming off those where he could either, if he has a step towards the basket downhill, he could just take it inside. If the defense is like backing off so they don't get dunked on or have him drive on them, then I trust that little 15-foot pull-up has been money all year so far, or the 5 games he's played. So I think I want to see more just kind of getting the ball, not necessarily just on the perimeter and doing a dribble handoff or a pick and roll. Like get him more into different areas of the court where he's can really take advantage of the way the defense plays him. And then I think we have to mention this as well. He's got to stay healthy too. Like if he has another injury this season and misses, half the rest of the year or something, knock on wood that doesn't happen. But like at some point he's got to use that word consistency. He's got to consistently show that he could be available for games as well. You can't become a star if you're not playing much. I mean, I guess you can. Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard did, but yeah, like we need him to be able to play on the floor and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do think one thing that stands out is the percentage of his 2-point shots that have been assisted on. So his rookie year, it was 55% of them. Last year, it was 47% of them. So far this year, it's only 22% of them. So that statistically shows you he's creating more for himself. He's shooting 57% from 10 to 16 feet and 67% from 16 to 3-point. That's not sustainable at that level. You just hope it's an improvement over last year where he was 37% and 42% respectively. So, that's a small sample size thing where, small sample size is shooting phenomenal from the mid-range. You just hope that it balances out in a range where it's an efficient enough shot to justify him shooting a bunch of them, and then hopefully he can use that mid-range shot to be able to get downhill, because you can punish defenders for basically trying to like run you off the 3-point line and then meet you at the rim. You make them pay with a mid-range shot. And if you make enough of them, then defenders have to guard you a little bit differently, and it makes it easier to actually turn the corner, and it actually makes it easier to get to the rim. So, I know it's not the analytical shot, the mid-range shot, but it can help your offense, and it can help you get higher quality shots, and you can stop pump fake in the mid-range, step through some of the creative stuff that SGA does. I hope that Sharp learns or does even more, and just adding to his bag, adding to that the craftiness, learning how to get to the line. Even he hasn't, he shot 12 free throws in 5 games, so that's a little bit more than 2 a game. I would like to see him learn that as well, because all the star guards of his caliber get to the line a ton. Was 3.7 last year, so that's another thing that he could learn how to do is get to the line, and I think part of that has to go with an aggressive mindset, challenging shot blockers, like creating that contact, not shying away from it.
Like that play where he basically made Julius Randle have to foul him. Like Julius Randle didn't want to get dunked on, and he when you have the ability to like float in the air and not only jump high but like stay in the air a long time, you can really use that to like. Obviously, you don't want to like go crazy where you're getting charges, but you can float into people on your way down and get contact and stuff like that. So hopefully he learns how to do that.
Yep, absolutely.
Side note,
yeah.
What you were talking about the percentage of field goals assisted on.
Yeah.
Have you looked at Anthony's 3-point percentage assisted on?
No.
So every year of his career, it has been 60% or higher assisted 3-point shots.
Yeah.
This year, 30.8.
Well, he's missed
I know he's
every catch and
missed,
shoot.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that it's like half of what every single season and his career average is. That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah. He's taking too many dribbles trying to create shots. Like, that's part of it, right? So I think it's being a little bit more dribble heavy, but also just he can't hit catch and shoot threes for whatever reason. And
yeah,
it's very unfortunate. And he's shooting 29.9% from three.
Yeah. But, like,
just rough.
You would think that, I mean, even if it's a down year for him, it's not like 50% down, right? So, like, you think that has to regress back to the mean at some point. Not regress, but bump up to, like, somewhat closer to the mean at some point.
Yeah, we talked about what's going on with him last post-game show. It's mental. It's him putting too much pressure on himself. So, I don't know what the fix is. I don't know when he's going to be back. I don't know how they handle things with him. But, he definitely has to get his mind right as an athlete. That's very important. So,
yeah. The last thing I want to say about Shaden is I don't think, once again, we talked about this with other players, I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence that he's finding those lanes with Ayton missing those games either. I think that's a common theme for a lot of our guards is that he's just there in the paint or like in that free throw line area a lot, and that kind of cuts off any driving lanes that our guards have when he's just standing in that mid-range area all the time,
Yeah, he floats around the free throw line. It's not easy on a guard. I kind of view him as a detriment at this point, and if you can get back nothing for him, that's a positive. And we'll save this conversation for another time, but if you're talking about trading the three vets, I think people are going to be disappointed with the return at this point, and we can save that conversation. It's just, there's people that want to trade the vets, but then also want to get back like 3 first-round picks for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a tall task, Ant, unfortunately, it has played his way into what I think is basically zero value. Like maybe you can get a first, but it's a maybe. Ayton, you're not getting anything for. Grant, right now, you can probably get a first for. I don't think they could get 2 firsts, and I think if they could have, they would have traded him already. And he doesn't look quite as good as he did last season. So if anything, his value's going down. So if you want to trade the vets, it's kind of like, okay, you gotta, it's an addition by subtraction. You kind of gotta view it in that lens, and we'll have that conversation maybe on the next post-game show.
You gotta hope that Grant's also gets back to his 3-point shot, gets back to somewhat close to normal levels too.
Yeah, because Grant and Simons have been brutal from 3, man. Jeremy, just for context, 34% from 3, which isn't as bad as Ant has been this year, but he was 40% the last 2 years. Jeremy Grant doesn't have anywhere near as much value if he's only seen as like an average 3-point shooter, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he can pick it back up. Anyway, next postgame show will be Sunday evening. Tip-off for that game is 3 p.m. against the Atlanta Hawks. And then the postgame will be at 5:30 p.m. So we're enjoying this time off.
Is there any theme to that show?
Charity night. So
charity night.
If anybody wants to recommend a cause to support, let me know. Otherwise, I will find one between now and then to just show some support for. So anyway, it'll be a pretty simple post-game show. Looking forward to that, and then we have another couple days off after that, and then we get into a bunch of games again. The 20th is at OKC next Wednesday, and then next Friday, so a week from now, is the next NBA Cup game on the road against the Houston Rockets. And if the Blazers can win that game, they can get into the top 8. So that'll be a fun one. Anyway, anything else, Eric?
No, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and hope to see you all back on Blazers Uprise on Sunday.
Yep, we will see you then. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Friday nights. And until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!